What's up, everybody? It's Jason Cruz here once again with another episode of The Legal Submission. And this time we are looking at the Vince McMahon lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant last week. The lawsuit has serious allegations in which McMahon sexually assaulted Grant and sexually trafficked her out to others. Grant, which I believe she was in her 30s, claims that McMahon used her and violated her while she was working at WWE. Now, to go back a little bit, McMahon had met her as she was looking for a job, and McMahon hired her, and probably with the sole reasoning of entering in a sexual relationship with her. Grant claims that McMahon forced himself on her and had her engage in threesomes with WWE employees and maybe other individuals. One of those people in the lawsuit that was named is John Laurinaitis, a former WWE executive, head of talent relations. McMahon claims that he and Laurinaitis, or not McMahon, but the lawsuit claims that he and Laurinaitis engaged in threesomes with her, that McMahon had appointed times in which they were to engage in sexual relations, and did this for other individuals. The complaint also includes the fact that a former UFC heavyweight champion was being enticed to join the company yet again. We can infer that was Brock Lesnar. And as part of the deal, she was going to be involved with him, and probably in a sexual manner. We don't know that for sure, but that's what the lawsuit infers. McMahon made her make videos, sexually explicit videos, for him. And the reason why this lawsuit is happening is because Grant claims that Vince McMahon had violated a non-disclosure agreement. She was to be paid $3 million for her silence, but McMahon only paid $1 million, according to Grant. Now, John Laurinaitis' attorney has spoken up and said that he also was a victim here, in that McMahon exerted his power and influence over Laurinaitis to engage in these acts. Laurinaitis' attorney wasn't specific on what types of acts they were, but he claims that the allegations against Laurinaitis were based upon the influence of McMahon. Now, one thing that has come out, or has not been addressed fully, is a full denial that these things happened. McMahon has issued a statement saying that he denies the allegations in the lawsuit, but one can put together the facts that these things actually happened, that Grant engaged in sexual relations with McMahon, who was in his mid-70s at this particular time. And McMahon also has text messages in which he is engaging in this relationship with Grant. McMahon was subject to a subpoena in which his phone was searched through, and as a result we received these text messages. It's probable that a grand jury will look at the evidence and maybe indict him on criminal charges of sexual trafficking or sexual assault. We don't know that for sure, but it is possible. Again, getting back to the allegations, some of these things that we read here in the allegations are quite horrible. They show a level of vile acts, just heinous things that are done, and if true, it's really just a horrible thing for an individual, and a black eye for the WWE if they knew or people knew about these things. Now the fallout we've kind of discussed. Laurinaitis blames McMahon. McMahon denies the whole thing. Grant's attorneys claim that there are more people out there that want to come forward and discuss what happened with the WWE, whether they knew of these acts, whether they heard stories, whether they were a part of it. There's still things that need to be uncovered here. So we will await that. Now, the legal implications. WWE, McMahon, and Laurinaitis have a chance to answer the complaint. It'll probably end up in denials and or motions to dismiss, multiple motions to dismiss by all the parties. That will probably happen sometime this month, February. And the bigger question will be whether or not an arbitration provision is viable here. Now, with employment agreements, there's usually arbitration provisions, in which if disputes happen, you go directly to arbitration, not court. But there are federal laws which allow for the circumvention of these contracts based on the fact there are sexual misconduct, sexual assaults occurring. Now, the attorneys will likely argue over that and the viability of the NDA as well as we go forward in this case. But for McMahon and the WWE mainly, it's a legal and PR disaster. The company is doing very well. It's coming off of brokering media deals which saw them get raises. Most notably, Netflix signing on with WWE in 2025 to the tune of 10 years, $5 billion. A huge amount. And TKO Group has severed all of its ties with McMahon. The day after the lawsuit was filed, McMahon was forced to resign and as executive chairman of TKO and as a member of the board of directors. He now is not a part of WWE at all. There is no McMahon actually a part of WWE at all, unless you include Triple H at this point. The fallout's going to be hard. Will it have an impact on the stock? It's hard to say from my perspective. It probably will, but mainly a lot of investors will look at the fact that McMahon is there no more. He's not a part of it. And the book of business is still doing well. The WWE is heading into WrestleMania season. The Rock was just added to the board of directors and probably will play a part in WrestleMania. So we're still heading toward very good revenues, licensing deals all over internationally, doing well. But the fact remains, this is a black eye on the wrestling industry. This is a black eye for WWE. If the allegations aren't true, we have a lot of explaining to do on what's happened. But the fact of the matter is, the Wall Street Journal broke a story last year about McMahon leaving because of several hush payments made to women that were associated with the WWE. Many people knew this for a long time, that he was having these sexual escapades. A lot of them have been covered up simply because of non-disclosure agreements, or the women were afraid to come forward. The employees maybe were afraid to come forward because of such influence he has. We will see what happens to him and whether or not there's enough evidence to file criminal charges against him. But definitely this lawsuit is going to be one to follow. This is Jason Cruz for Legal Submission. Have a great day.